All right. How are we doing today? Good morning and happy Monday. Time for another big trading week here. We've got a lot to go over this week. A lot of data set to release. So far, though, today, SPY's been moving back, gapping up pretty good. Got to keep watching resistance overhead, though. 686 is a big one. Let me turn on the drawings here. Very large resistance. As we go throughout the trading day today, be very wary that the SPY could chop all over the place. There's not a lot set to release here today, but you never know what news might hit or end up releasing. I really like 686 though. That was a previous peak on the SPY. If we go to like an hourly chart, we scroll back. That was the peak right here, November 12th. SPY peaked out a bit and started dropping. We are starting to see SPY though. Whenever we zoom out on like an hourly chart, it does really look like SPY is starting to turn over here. The structure's starting to break down, especially with it breaking through that key 681.50 support. That was a huge one too. Just not the best look for the SPY right now, though. Especially after last week where we were supposed to be running out to new highs on rate cuts. Of course, a lot of craziness happened last week. Started running up with JP, running up the following day, but man, Broadcom and those AI stocks just bringing in a lot of negative pressure in the short term. There goes SPY pulling back once again. Good morning, though. Pew Pew, Joe Papa, Zach, Gilly, Gilkill, Steve, Sear, or Brain, I should say, Hustle's World, So You, Jake, Raphael, I Love YouTube, Outlaw, Happy Monday. What's up, Sean? Everything coming down, oh yeah. Another pullback day. SPY can't hold on resistance there, unfortunately. Not the best move there. What's up, Bob? I think Tangi's been on vacation, if I've been correct. 684 support coming up. SPY now all the way back down, 2-point drop here at open. Wow, that's rough. Bobby Henry. Haha, what's up? You would like weed rescheduled ASAP. Me too. That was one of the biggest talking points last week where the MJ stock, CGC, was moving down today. I saw in pre-market they were running up towards $2 and breaking out above the high of last week, but they immediately turned over here after touching $2. Kind of sucks to see because they were doing great. Man, Tilray, same thing. Big pullback. We need to really see that rumor come to fruition is what we need to see. Man, MSOS looks like a good possibility for the next few weeks, though. Damn. All of them opened up with a bad candle. IRBT. filed for bankruptcy, and I just closed your puts Friday, damn it. Oh. IRBT filed for bankruptcy today, down to $1.27. Whoa. Man, brain. Hustles closed their puts Friday. Man, I'd be pissed too on this one. Wow, falling $4.50 all the way down to $1. That's a pretty bad move there. Good morning, Tessie, Sharpie said. TSLA holding up very well again. Wow, Tesla, that is a big move up to 480. I loved how on Friday they went against the market and ran up anyways, and today they are doing it again. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a great move by Tesla up to 480. Dang. Very nice move. 460 breakout. That's what we want. Ha, Rick's here. Now go about your business. Good morning, Tessie. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to give Elon a kiss on the cheek today. Especially if it breaks past 480, but it might slow up here. It's a big level. Check back in on the Tilray real quick. I want to look at them on the daily. IRBT's going bankrupt. Let's see. Yeah, they are. That's what someone said earlier. I didn't get to pull up the news yet. Now I can. I had to re-log into Thinkorswim as I have to do almost every day. Yeah, filing for Chapter 11 though. Sheesh. Amazon scrapped its deal to buy them. Wow. That's probably really rough after how much IRBT just ran up in the short term. I bet a lot of people got trapped on that one, trying to run into shares. You held IRBT overnight once and it was a bad idea. Glad you didn't do it again. Especially today. Holy. How much is it down officially? Let's see. 68% drop. Wow. Let's go back to Tesla, which had that positivity. It's a good jump there. Made a scalp on Tesla to the upside. Let's go. Hope it works, Demure. Sitting at 480 resistance. Need a clear break for you. Need a good break. And VDA, Pew Pew says. Pull back today. Oh, they did pretty good in pre-market, but pulled back, I guess. Kind of like the overall market. 1 second today, guys. I can't talk. Give me one moment. Man, I love the cold. No, I'm joking. All right, gonna short Tesla here for a scalp, Hustle says. TSLA starting to move down here a little bit. If you got in a couple minutes ago, it's already working out pretty well. It's 6 under 480, you'll be happy. You would be happy. Jake said, so all the volume we recently had are inside sellers? I don't know which one you're referencing. Maybe IRBT? You think MU will recover before Christmas, or is it cooked? It's got a shot to recover. It just depends if we get the bullishness coming back in with the overall market, and there's a lot of optimism with some of this data releasing soon, then it could be great. It could be. Could also end up being pretty volatile. What's Palantir doing? PLTR coming back down. Big pullback coming into play here at the moment. It tried to run up again this morning. Last week on Friday, Palantir really sold off. Even on Thursday. Damn. At open anyways. So today's like the opposite. good initial jump. Would be nice to get to 190 plus. Why Tilray won't stop dumping. There was some rumors that the White House didn't confirm that rumor from last week, so that could be what's going on. I remember that was a big deal last week. Let's see. I'm not seeing any news here really. They're still talking about Trump loosening the restrictions. But I saw there were posts by the Marijuana Moment that said that they reached out to the White House and they did not confirm it. So, I don't know. We'll see if it comes today or not, but could just be some pullback going on. Oh, Demure posted up a surplus helmet, it looks like. That almost looks like a construction helmet with a with a rope around it. Chocolate chip camo. Oh yeah, it is that. I used to like that one. What years were those from? Looks cool. Man, Tessie moving back towards 480. Ah, okay, the 80s in the Gulf War, okay. That explains why I've seen him. Tessie's trying to come back here, wow. Testing 480 in a huge way. Robotaxi went, now it has no monitor. Wow, Tesla's getting through 480. If it can break the wick in the high of the day, that's where the real action's gonna be, but still, this is looking great by Tesla on the recovery. They've been very strong in the short term, even if the market's slow. Look at how Tesla just broke out to new highs. It's not all-time highs yet, but they're testing them. They're right there. Robert, coming up clutch again. Thank you, sir. Hell yeah. The only medium/large were the chocolate chips. A logistics helmet, that's pretty good. It's your tornado helmet from in Missouri. A logistics helmet. I never thought about wearing a helmet during a tornado, but it's not a bad idea. Now you have me really thinking about that. Man, SPY is really selling down here. Watch for support on the SPY. Close to 682. Actively dropping right now. Might try to fill this gap. If it does fill the gap, there could be opportunity in trying to snipe it back up off the gap fill. There can be opportunity in that. The second you sold your puts, QQQ drops $1. Of course. Every time. QQQ's gap is down to 613. You know what I'm gonna do with the camo? Ride your bike with it. Hey, I saw some kid riding his e-bike at the gas station this weekend. My gosh, Jameer, he went flying on that thing. He was going faster than the cars on the road, going 30. And he was on the sidewalk. It was funny. I don't see those a lot around here. He was in high school or something, and I could tell that he really felt cool on that thing. They have e-motos that'll do 75. Oh my gosh, Pew Pew. Maybe it's a... I honestly thought about it after seeing it, Demure. That's pretty neat. Took profits on MES. Got scared and jumped back out again. I'd be richer if I learned how to hold my winners. MES Morningstar US Energy Sector. Wow, pulled back pretty good there. Interesting though, Steven. Cost is down another $8. Costco. I went to Costco this weekend again. I've been going there a lot more lately. I've been liking some of their stuff. I don't get a ton of stuff there, but get a few things every once in a while. Last night we had a shepherd's pie from there. It was fire. It was very crowded, Demure. I did not expect that. I actually would not have went there if I had known it was going to be like that, because it was a nut house. Tesla, 481.50. It took like 20 or 30 minutes just to leave. Why is the market down so much, Ghost said? It's actually, well, it gapped up. It's up 0.1% on the day. It is moving down a little bit here at open, but there doesn't always have to be like a crazy, like huge news-driven reason. You know, that's not always the case. A lot of volatility here. You know, a lot of people looking at stuff from last week, like the FOMC meeting. Powell pretty much talked more about pausing at the next one. Yeah, you know, essentially that's how it is. Ukraine gives up joining NATO in bid to shift the dial in Russia peace talks. That's probably not going to hit the market as much as you'd think it could. Trump says Kevin Warsh is at the top of his Fed chair candidate list, really overtaking Hassett. Kevin Warsh. Could VIX be a good play with how down everything is? Well, realize SPY just filled the gap. We might be seeing a bit of a bounce trying to happen here. If you try to play VIX up, I don't think it's a bad idea. We just have to really realize that the market needs to go down. You know, if you try to play it and the SPY starts ripping up, you're going to have a good risk management strategy to get out in a decent way where you don't end up losing, you know, your ass or blowing up your account, really. As long as you do all that, I think you'll be pretty solid. You know, the SPY just started turning over on Friday in a pretty tough way. It tried to come back a little bit today, You know, that 686 resistance is pretty critical. If it keeps holding that as resistance for the next day or so, VIX might end up being a pretty good opportunity. Set some up really quick. Let's see. SPY's really falling down here today. My gosh. We're going to get a reversal soon? That's the million-dollar question, right? Guess that Christmas rally was all a ruse then. Or a ruse. Not really, Demure. I mean, it still could be coming to fruition here. Let's see, is December... Is it green overall? I'm curious, let's see. So the December opened up essentially around 679. So we're still up on December, it looks like. It's just not up a lot. And you know what? If we go to historical seasonality, that's usually the case. Let me go pull this up really quick. If we look at historical seasonality, you can tell, you know, December usually opens up in a weird place. It ends up falling back towards that place, like literally right now on the 15th where we are. And then throughout the rest of the year is where we get most of the gains coming. So will these next 15 days or so be where we get those good gains? A lot of that could have to come down to the economic data this week. I mean, there's a lot of big data coming out this week that's a bit underrated in my eyes. It's huge. Non-farm payrolls are going to be very important. Non-farm payrolls coming out Tuesday, 1 hour before open. So tomorrow, get some jobs data there, the unemployment rate. At the same time, Thursday, CPI data, the inflation rates coming out as well. It's going to be crazy. People say Christmas rally, but we've been rallying for 4 months. We really have. Maybe even longer than that. How many months has it been? Let's go to the daily. We've been rallying since April. Yeah, I guess like 6 months or so. Wow. Crazy to say that it's been that long, isn't it? That is a bit crazy. Hey, there goes SPY trying to come back on the reversal there. There's SPY attempting a bit of a comeback. Let's see, SPY. I have Oracle on my watch list, going to start a position at 175 if possible. 175. Let's see where it's dropping to right now. Definitely pulling back hard under support. I have good support around, yeah, 172 to 175. It's a pretty good range, I would say. Not bad. It is interesting the way in which Oracle has pulled back, too. It's been a large one as well. It would be very nice to see it come back. I know a few of you have been looking at Costco for dip buy opportunities. Robert. Thoughts on SPY hitting 700 by the year end? Oh, my fault. I thought you were just saying that you were liking the BMPs last time. SPY itself, 700 by the year end. Oh, that's a tough one. If we really get the Santa rally, oh my God, I think it can happen. As long as we get that Santa rally, I think it's very, very, very possible. That's very, very possible. 700's not far away. I'd put the possibility at I'd put it at 63%. If you had to really make me pick one, I would say 63%. And that's my own personal guess, so to say. We really need Santa to come to town. Santa needs to put on his... I don't know. Maybe we just need to ask him for some gains this year. 2025 has been so hot. I wouldn't be surprised if it continued. Looking to see if I had this other data here. The next 4 months or so, the next 4 weeks or so are some of the best 4 weeks in the entire market. We can see here the second half of December and the first half of January are the fourth and fifth best halves of the year. Buy, buy, buy. Then LFG. I want to see Costco test that 871. Robert's still looking for Datadog and Pfizer, though. DDOG. Let's check on those big money trades here. Datadog. Wow, Datadog's looking fantastic so far. Great start to this trade. Wow. Great move starting to play out here with Datadog. It is getting close to some bigger areas of support here. I would look to maybe take some profits closer to 140. You know, Robert, it's moving down in a pretty good way. We are getting to about a month left till expiration. It's not quite in the money yet. You know, being the 140 strike, it's not quite in the money yet, but I could see it maybe touching 140, bouncing off of it a little bit. The problem is that as time goes by now, we either need the red days to continue kind of like we've seen the past 5 or so days, and then also we need it to start really getting under 140, right? That's going to be a big deal. If we don't start getting under 140 and we start to get flat or just have some time decay, or, well, if we just start to go flat, we'll have that time decay, theta decay. We'll end up seeing it hit those options pretty hard on that final month, because if you didn't know, the theta decay curve, let me show you. It gets more exponential the closer you get to expiration. Oh my God. This picture, you can't even read that. The hell? There we go. There we go. This will just make it simple. Perfect. A nice readable picture. All right. We can see in those final like 30 days or so, the curve gets a lot more exponential, and you're just now entering into that 30-day point, and you're out of the money still. Well, if you have the 140s, you'll still be out of the money. So as long as we keep moving down in the ultra short term, it'll be great. But if it starts to pop back, it'll lose value pretty quickly. So you'll want to definitely do all you can to, you know, keep it smooth, I guess. Don't want to get too nuts with it. The other one was Pfizer. Let me go check that one really quick. Wow, Pfizer's starting to look like it's trying to break in a great way here. Man, Pfizer's breaking through its range in a great way. Breaking through $26, getting up towards that recent high. Looks like it's pointing up for a much larger breakout, but expiration is this Friday. Oh, that makes this one tough. Let me go plot this one out really quick. I know we've been following it here on the channel for a little while, but it is crunch time on it now. I mean, they're definitely still in. That's not why I'm plotting it. I'm plotting it to get an idea on how they're doing. Okay, so the big money would be up on this right now. At least a little bit. At least a little bit. Believe, anyways. I'm looking at a daily chart, but let me go to the hourly and then we'll really know. Yeah, so right now the big money's up around... Oh, come on, computer. Give me a break. 1 second. We're up around 25%. I think the play still looks pretty good. It looks like Pfizer wants to break out here today or over the next couple days. If we do get that good breakout coming, I mean, that's where this play is going to really start to explode, especially as it gets into expiration here. But I would say one more good green day, you probably look to sell. You know, you'll probably want to take some profits up here at the top. If you're going to buy, it's better to buy them when the market tanks. I never buy them when they're green. Man, Pfizer trying to come back, though. That's an interesting play here at the end here. Good question, Robert. Good question. I think holding it today and looking for that pop into tomorrow is an okay thing to go for. Still have some stops in place maybe, especially with it getting close to EXP. Because if there is a bad red day, you'll want out fast. Hustle says, made some money off the SPY puts. Thank you. Let's go, Hustle. Oh yeah, SPY really continued there. Nice breakdown. Glad to hear that. Thank you for the super. You and Robert coming up clutch today. Appreciate you guys. According to Grok, the S&P 500 will not reach 7,000. That's the SPX. By the end of the year, right? Grok could be wrong. It's possible. If there is a good Santa rally, I think it's definitely possible that we get up there. You're very welcome, brother. Appreciate it too. Thank you, sir. QQQ past week has been falling. It's a big drop off there, QQQ. 611 coming up. That's a big support. What in the world is going on with Bitcoin? BTC USD. Pulling back a little bit there, 87,000. Wow. Bitcoin pulling back again. Here we go, starting to turn over a bit more. Watch out. I've been saying this about Bitcoin if you've been watching the channel. Well, if you've been watching the live channel, I've been talking about Bitcoin coming up off of this dip, possibly getting to like 98 to 100K and then turning over. You know, we don't know exactly where the turnover is going to happen, but I'm looking for something kind of like that. Seems like that might be starting to play out here, but if we do get a good Santa rally, I mean, that could possibly push Bitcoin higher. Do we think Bitcoin can bounce? I thought the Fed was dovish. No, this was actually... A lot of people called this a hawkish cut. It's where they lower rates, but then they also signal caution in the future about other cuts. That's exactly what Powell did. They cut rates this time, which was dovish, but they call it a hawkish cut because Jerome Powell ends up coming out and saying, hey, in the future, rate cuts probably won't be happening. If we go to the Fed Watch tool, They're pricing in a 79% chance of a pause at the January meeting, and that's been doing nothing but jumping up since the last FOMC meeting. Jumped up, and then it's just been, you know, stagnant since then, but... SPY is literally making stairs on the 5-minute. Staircasing up or staircasing down? Oh, downward stairs, of course. Should have known with the way the price action's been today. My gosh, though, 680 just came into play as the downtrend continues. That is a big slide. Wow, 679.50 coming up there. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry, guys. Had to answer a question really quickly there. All right, SPY, go back to you really fast. Man, 679.50, 680. This is huge. This is a huge range. Full port and hodl. Oh, hell no. StockedUp Live is doing an IPO. Lies. Lies. I would let you into the pre-IPO, though, if you... For all the support, I'd let you in. ugly sell-off. Seriously, I mean, even Tesla, which had a fantastic move this morning, ended up really coming back. A pretty big pullback right there. Sorry, guys. Helping some people out really quick. One stock I'm glad to see crash is MSTR. The more I research it, the scammier it looks. Whoa, that wick on SPY on the 10-minute. Let's see. That's a pretty bad move on SPY. Down towards that drop or down towards the recent low, but it's holding up. Support is holding from Friday. SPY support holding up. Wow. That is a huge support to keep holding there. Interesting bounce. Will we break later in the day? If you're looking for more of a breakdown, you might want to set an alert up down there. It does seem like this is a pretty good hit, though. Spent half an hour with Revolut chat support. Oh, no. That's hilarious. Revolut. One stock I'm glad to see crash is MSTR. The more I research it, the scammier it looks. I know I read that a minute ago, but find that interesting here. Daily chart pulling back hard. I know that you need to really see Bitcoin move there. You gave it a try, bought some January 682 calls for the SPY. Tesla 481. Come on, let's make that comeback, Tessie. You're pointing back up. Trying to bounce up off of 471, 470. Got pretty close to support once again, so need to see a good hold and recovery there. I gave it a try, bought some January 682. So you're looking for a nice Santa rally off of this dip? Might not be a bad idea. Maybe not the worst play, really. You know, if the Santa rally does come through, I think it would be a pretty decent end-of-the-year opportunity. Of course, be prepared, be okay to lose as well, but as long as you're not over-leveraging on it, should be just okay. I know a lot of people are going to come, Tom, I lost on my calls. No Santa rally. What the... I quit. You know, I'm sure we'll see that if it does go down in the chat quite a bit. Number one, they either over-leveraged or didn't have a risk management strategy at all. Or, you know, again, over-leveraged. I mean, even if you don't have a risk management strategy and you're just letting it go, like, you know, your risk management strategy should still look at your overall account and say, okay, if I buy like 3 contracts and I let them go, let's just say they're $500 a contract. Let's just say that's $1,500 total. You know, you need to be okay with losing that $1,500, right? Most people say to only lose like 2 or 3% of your account. If that's the case, you know, you got to have like an $80,000 account or something like that to do 3 contracts risking $1,500, right? Yeah. Yeah, if you're risking 2%, that's essentially $80,000 account. If you're doing that scenario with 1,500, of course it's going to be different with all of them. The chat crashed. He's too busy taking profits on his puts. 100%. Probably good on those puts today, man. Morning downtrend's trying to break back up. Pew Pew said, yeah, it is. SPY tried to have it, well, it had its best little recovery here of the day, trying to form a good base right off support. But, you know, we've seen a lot of selling today. If the base starts to break down, you just can't keep bag holding calls up, though. But I kind of like the opportunity of sniping it off the dip. Lost 70 cents per share on 70 shares of Tilray. Not a ton of Tilray, but Tilray is down a lot today, isn't it? Keep in mind that Trump's set to do that recovery today, but, you know, we could see it start to come into play here soon again. They're trying to reclassify marijuana to a Schedule 3 drug from a Schedule 1, I believe. Sniping the dips, the best thing for you, Thaco says. Okay. I feel like for most people, that's the opposite. But hey, I'm glad that that's working for you. In the discussion chat, Outlaw said, let's see if we get a V-shaped recovery on SPY. It seems like it's trying to here. My investments is like money-making engine. I reached my easy 10% yearly goal, so now you just chill. Here comes the SPY. Just printed 682. Nice. Hustle's just hit on some SPY calls now. I know you hit on those puts earlier. Made some decent money. Hell yeah. Glad to hear you on the calls. The CGC coming back at all, or is it like Tilray? Kinda like it. Not really coming back much though. Tesla, good move higher, back towards 480 again. Maybe get a breakout incoming. Nvidia coming back alive. All right. Very mixed price action today. We have seen a lot of chop lately. That would be hilarious if the market really recovered all the way back. How about fantasy? Anybody in here doing fantasy? Am I all right? Am I winning? I'm still up on Hunter by 3 points. Oh, he's gonna catch me. But I have Waddle tonight and Ashan. I don't even know how to say his name. Ashan or something. He's like one of the best running backs this year. I saw the Packers loss. They're gonna be done now. A-Chan. Okay. One sec, guys. I actually didn't catch any of them this weekend. What a game it was. I had Kincaid, though. I kind of wish Kincaid did better. Come on, A-Chan. We need you. We're gonna just barely squeak out above Hunter somehow. I don't know how, but just barely we're gonna do it. Go back to SPY really quickly. Pushing higher again, 682 coming up. Pretty good resistance here. Resistance zone, 682 to 682.50. I would say fairly large area. Let's see, IRBT. Still clapped. SLV. Glad to hear that though, Coconut. Yeah, that's awesome. Like Brain said, that's a good dub right there. There's some dub in the chat for Coconut. Man, silver 3% here, still continuing to explode. Coming back up off of Friday's disaster. Oh no. Haha. You got me, Brain. You outperform Kathy Woods easy. But I can't stop. You're never gonna stop winning. That's what I like to hear. Ooh, 682 resistance ended up proving hard for the SPY here. It's not as straight up as some people are probably looking for, but here's a little trend line for you intraday. There's a trend line for you. Look at that pullback on SPY. Going to be testing the lower ends of this base now, or mid-range of the base, but see if it can keep holding above 679, 680. Parkour for the win, Brain. Citigroup pulling back hard. 112.70. The win and the broken bones. Yeah, parkour is hard. I can't believe some of those videos that you'll watch of people like doing parkour on top of like the Empire State Building or something. Maybe not that, but it looks like it, you know. Very tall stuff. I guess you only get to see them because I guess you have to go to live leaks to find all the mess ups. They're not going to let you see those mess ups on Instagram Reels, probably. Check on the watch list today. We haven't looked at that too much. Not too much to the upside today, really. Tesla is almost leading the way. Kind of weird for our watch list, which has a bunch of crazy growth stocks, but a bit strange. Going down the list, APLD down 13%. Wow. Applied Digital, that is a crazy move. Damn, APLD. Woof. Pretty much the same thing. 10% drop. Serve Robotics down 8%. Seeing a lot of these growth stocks pulling back very hard today. Wow, let's see CoreWeave. CoreWeave is approaching recent lows. Navitas, NVTS. Hey, Navitas had that great jump off support, but started really turning back over too. SMR, going to be testing the big trend line here, see if we end up breaking below it or not. We saw a good bounce up off the trend recently, but ever since that initial jump, it's just been sitting there. Nothing really looks good today. It's the YOLO life. Yeah, market's kind of strange today. There were definitely some opportunities here, especially with the SPY. You know, it was very straight down from open. Good downside opportunities. I know some people were trying to snipe it up off the dip and did do a good job of sniping the dip, but we still have to be very careful here. You were excited about Tilray because over the weekend, you know, they were moving well. There was that news. Yeah, it's too bad that the news ended up, you know, not really coming to fruition today. Maybe we'll still see something come out about this as the day goes on where Trump could come out with this. But keep in mind, last week, even the Trump admin, they literally did not reply to comments when they were being asked about it. So Williams has been speaking the past few minutes, said that uncertainty over tariffs has fallen quite a bit. Inflation and jobs risks are roughly in balance now. Was excited about Tilray. Yeah, it's too bad there. CGC, same deal. Do you guys think that the Trump admin will actually come out and reclassify it this week, or do you think that was just a rumor? Because again, those were just sources. You know, it doesn't mean that has to necessarily happen. As far as today's events go, I see an in-town pool. It says in-town pool call time at 9 a.m. for the White House, and then nothing scheduled till 3 p.m. where the president will participate in a Mexican border defense medal presentation. And then we also have the president participates in a Christmas reception as well. So, a few things going on tonight, but nothing crazy there. 4:15 and 8:15, 2 Christmas receptions. Interesting. That's all that's scheduled for today. You think maybe after hours? Yeah, I'm thinking either after hours or hell, maybe during the day, but I would think that they would do it before 4:15 Eastern where he has those other things scheduled. Although it might not even be him coming out and saying it, right? Maybe one of his staff will, or somebody in the admin. I don't think Trump wants to talk about MJ all that much. Looking through the news, nothing too crazy there. CGC really pulling back. SPY getting flat and choppy at this point. Yeah, that was a nice move Friday. I still think that as this week goes, we could see more action come in for it. I think it's possible. But alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there for today. The market's getting a bit slow. Gonna go grab some breakfast. Keep watching Tesla for a 480 breakout. Hope everyone had a good first hour and 30 minutes of open, though. See SPY drop. I know some of you caught that put action, but now things are getting choppy. Choppy once again. Looking through the watch list. Weird stocks. Up around the highs today. Take-Two Interactive. I can't believe they delayed Grand Theft Auto 6 again at their earnings, then they dropped. Yeah, it's like surprise, surprise. Trump will be out of office before before GTA 6 comes out. With how often they keep doing that. It's going to come out with the PS6. It really should. I mean, honestly, that would be a good way to do it. That's what I would try to do if I were them. That would make it one of the biggest launches in the history of console launches, probably. It would probably destroy the PS5. Do you guys remember when PS5s, you couldn't get one for like a year because they were all gone, or you had to pay like a huge premium or something? It was kind of silly. You too, Outlaw. Appreciate you. But alrighty, guys. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Hope everyone has a great one. I will talk to you later. I hope to see you guys in the Discord. If you're not yet in, check out the link for the trading floor. Join up, check out the store page. Pretty badass. If you need anything, feel free to private message me on Discord or tag me in the chat. Have a great one, guys. I'll talk to you later.